Good afternoon and welcome to another World Masters hockey match brought to you live from Cape Town, South Africa, where we are having the game between Argentina and Germany. This game is the third day of the tournament as we get into the meat and bones of the pool games now, where teams need to start accumulating their points to make sure they can get through to the playoff games. This game is in the over 45 age group, so players over here can't be under 45. And this game has got off to a real even start with Germany moving the ball around each other on the back and intercept happening there. Just a loose pass. Argentina picking up and turning backwards and being safe, but it should be an interesting encounter in this World Cup. Looking back, Germany played Wales in their first game and won that game 4-1, whereas Argentina came up against the mighty Holland, and the Dutch come in on top of there 6-1. So all in all in this pool, both teams only have played one game. They've had a rest day. Germany have got maximum points so far from their games, where Argentina haven't got any points, and we'll be looking to get that sorted out in this one as we go forward. At the moment, Germany a lot of position. That's a long overhead into the circle and not dealt with very cleanly by the Argentinian defenders. They'd be hoping to do a little better than that with a high ball coming in. Germany receiving that one first. Any high ball that comes into your circle, you have to be getting there first and making sure that you're on top of it to not cause any pressure. The third of the World Cup, like we said, in beautiful Cape Town. This game being held at the Western Province Career Club. It's a sports club in Cape Town. Two Astros over here that are hosting both matches in the Masters World Cup. There's various age groups participating at this event. This is the second of the Masters events. The first event was in Nottingham, and that was for the over 35s. This is the 45s, 50s, and 55s. And then later in the year, we got a Singapore tournament, Tokyo tournament, where the plus 60s and there's even a plus 70s age group. As my friend often says, the plus 70s is called the survivors age group. Argentina just throwing an overball over the top there, trying to relieve some pressure out the back. But at this moment in the game, Germany having most of the possession and just keeping control of the ball, as they always do. German midfield taking a little bit of strain there, as one is always going to do in a game like this. You're not going to let the midfield roam free and be an easy game, especially with wildly experienced players like we do have on the field. Germany with a big cross ball going through. Fantastic. Again, still in play, advantage being played, and the short corner being given. But I think Christian Kostling would have been a bit upset about the first push that he got. He had the ball in control and got a little shove in the back, but umpire saying play on, awarding the advantage and then calling them for the hack afterwards. So Germany with the first penalty corner of the match. We've got to see what's pulled out the bag here. Argentina taking a long time to get ready here, trying to unpack all their protective gear from the goodie bag. All teams carry their protective gear around from match to match. And of course, when the time comes, there's always somebody who forgot to unpack everything, and people have got to tip the bag upside down and do some searching to find where the knee pads and the elbow pads and the face masks and the chin straps are. Good injection. Drag flick come in, and a very low drag flick under the keeper. Alexandro Mata from Argentina will not be happy with his attempt there. The ball went straight on the middle, and I think the German drag flick will forgive me, but for lack of pace, the ball snuck under goalkeeper's pads, and from the first penalty corner of the match, Germany put themselves 1-0 up in this game and looking good. Argentina jumping straight back into it, trying to restart this match. This age group having 2 pools, where come the end of the playoff week, when everybody's played each other in the 2 pools, there'll be playoff games for the middle places and the positions, as we see a great run in Kosling in the circle again. Kosling just running across the baseline, flipping the ball up, popping the ball over Marta, who came flying out, trying to make the save. Just couldn't get the ball across. Yeah, it's cool. Argentina resorting to a lot of overheads to get the ball at the back, to get the ball forward. Well dealt with at the back there. Looked like Rolf Jörg. Jörg just controlling the ball at the back, making sure that Argentina don't get an easy way through. It looks like Argentina are the patient kind of here, holding the 3/4 press. Groening playing on the right, half small interchange there. Find himself a bit out of position. Germany making a substitution, the ball almost sneaking through. You see Germany work in the right-hand channel. Kosling again, very exciting player. Going to look for the cross now. Gets the cross away, but you can see hit too much of the turf there. A little too over-eager. As Argentina are scrambling for the ball here. Just need to keep possession. The Germans are always going to pounce on anything that comes out. You see a great overhead ball. There was a sneaky little charge from Carmona on the sideline on the left. The Germans hadn't seen him going, and the overhead was thrown just out of reach. I think he saw his name in lights there when the opening came, if the ball hadn't skidded away from him so quickly. Beautiful day today in Cape Town, light breeze, low 20s in temperature. Had a bit of rain this morning, which wet everything, but we've got everything cleared up now. The cold front has passed and the mountain is shining again and showing off as Argentina make a dash going forward there, but do expose themselves as the ball comes out here to Schaefer, who's trying to find the ball on the sideline. Brooks made a nice lead out wide, but was closely guarded by Batistella. Sergio Batistella now taking the hit from the sideline, but as again resorting to the overhead. The Germans are going to get a lot of practice catching these balls coming out the top. As again, Kossel comes away with a good pass. Receives the ball again. Trying to make the play happen, but a couple of stick hacks along the way. Umpire says play on, bit of advantage. And Argentina now get to control the ball in the midfield. Diego Roger just pulling some skill out the bag. A little flip skill and now the through skill. This could be fantastic as Carmona gets himself close to the 22. He just couldn't get him in for that. The ball got knocked away, but all in the fair play. That ball got really close to the circle, and Carmona thought he had a chance to pop it in. The free hit on the edge of the circle. Need to make the ball move 5 yards before it goes in. Alejandro Costa taking the free hit there, just moving the ball back 5 yards and then trying to force it into the circle. None of the Argentinian forwards leading for that ball, unfortunately. Otherwise, he could have got some value for money from that. Umpire wanting the ball on exactly the right spot as everybody lines up to see what's going to happen here. Costa plays the ball back, and here comes the circle entry. The ball's allowed to be lifted gently to go in the circle, but that one lifted just a little bit too high, and the umpire saying danger. Almiron, who took the blow there, the hit there, would just be a little bit upset with his delivery. Trying to get the ball in the circle is important as Germany come back into the game. Argentina holding off quite smartly and just stepping at the right time. You can see them being patient, waiting for a small mistake by any of the German defenders. And that initiates the step as we get a long overhead from Germany deep into the 22 of Argentina. And the German players just being very careful. Slight backstick play being made, and this is now a good kind of 2v1. Argentina having a moment, they're just the ball rolling loose. I think Martinelli, who I believe is the captain, is he the captain? Yeah, he's got the captain's band on. We'll be unhappy with his trap there. If there had been a trap there, it would have been a 2v1 going into the German 22, which most teams would really shut. Germany just holding the ball at the back. Frank Schaefer just trying to play the ball on the line, but it was blocked. It's the dead end channel. Another long overhead, and again the free ranging forward up front. So far we've seen Christian Kostling really energetic up front, making lots of movement, trying to get the ball in this game now. Really resorting to overhead, and Argentina now have got a ball going through. Carmona passing the ball back, looking for the loose ball. Carmona just not slipping the ball back, and we saw Martinelli just not getting any stick on it. A circle entry for Argentina, but just nothing of value that came from that. As Germany come away with the ball, and a fantastic step through there. Umpires at the play go on, but Diego Roger had a fantastic step going through there, stepped in front of the ball. You could see that value, picking it up before the German player could receive it. And as is normal in this tournament, a little hargy-bargy followed by some handshakes and high-fives. Competitive, but at the same time, everybody feels like they're in the same boat. And again, Argentina with a great little free hit. Good push through in there. Ralph Yerk at the back there, just so energetic, getting in front of the ball. And now again, like I said, Christian Kostling, great through ball. This could be a fantastic run on if we can keep it gruening. Pulling the ball back, looking for some options. Kostling arriving, but just finding a stick on the pass. Thought he had a chance going forward there. Good turn again. And that's a very big body blow. Holger Gröning would be upset with that. He was looking good there until he got the body check. Got the blow, but disrupted his movement towards the goal. As Germany looking for a big entry. A good crack in. Ball popping loose, but unfortunately, Germany making the tackle over the top of the stick of Argentina, and the umpire saying that's in a hack. And another overhead thrown. Germany realizing now the importance of getting under these overheads. Günther Dahl just stepping across there. So the score still 1-0 to Germany. We're in the first quarter. Good start to the game with the drag flick. Goal. But up to this point now, Argentina looking for some gaps and trying to go through. Alejandro Costa, their midfield player, full of adventure. Just being called back now, no advantage given. He was super keen to get the advantage up front. The Argentinian player dummying the overhead there, throwing the underhead. As Germany now look to carry the ball forward. That just happened just outside the 22. If that had been inside the 22, there definitely would have been a card given. You could see from the start that Holger Gröning is full of running, and none of the Argentinian players were going to enjoy that part of it. You see them running through the length there. As Germany now press into the 22, trying to find a circle entry. Good through ball ball played into space. The loose ball inside the circle, game pinball. And Argentina able to just smack it away, clear the pressure. Argentina pressing way deep into their 22, putting all their players behind the ball. It doesn't mean the ball that gets crashed in. It does sort of pinball around, as we'll see now. Great interception, but again, the interception comes straight back to Germany. Loose ball inside the circle, Gröning crossing the ball, and everybody brought Muller, everybody looking at this thing flying past them, and again, why didn't one of us touch it? As we reset the clock again, Argentina again low this time. Found the gap, trying to find the through ball, just throwing it for the ramp, but the ramp had a too long a ball on it, so they couldn't get to it, and Germany get to reset and try and find their way back again. Frank Schaefer been told he was looking forward there, but I heard the calls from about 4 of his players saying, no, turn out. We need to reset the clock. As Germany hold the ball at the back. Muller in the middle now, captain of the team. Dictating where play goes. You see lots of scanning happening. Looking to go right as much as possible. And now we have some opening lines coming up. There's going to be delivery. A good ball into the circle. And a backhand deflection that came from Jablowski onto an Argentinian foot. And Germany win their second short corner of this match. The first one being drag flicked in. Muller on top again. I'm sure he'll be back at himself, having scored the first one. As we see the hooter for the end of the quarter. And the PC will be played out, and when it's finished, the players will come off for a drink. Germany have got every single player. Unfortunately, Argentina, when the whistle went, stepped out of their box, and now they get reduced by one player. They've got to defend the short corner with one player less. That's Germany line up again. Muller ready for this one. Ball comes out a little bit slowly. We've got a slip flick indoor style, and unfortunately just didn't catch enough on that, and the ball was saved quite comfortably in front of the goal. And so we're going to the break. Germany 1-0 up. More chances they had, but by no means a done deal in this game yet. right high in the field, trying to crack the ball in, but Germany just putting the blocker up. Captain Muller on the route one. Another good ball fired in, but neatly contained in the box by Germany. And the ball then coming out with a small mistake. A lot of overheads been thrown in this game, which I think might be normal when the teams are nervous of each other. Argentina really struggled to get that ball at the back, and now Germany coming back. Direct ball down the middle, and Kozlin's got a free ball. Can he finish? He lays it off to Jablowski. And Jablowski just an easy put away. You're not going to get better chance than that. Kozlin coming in and just looking for all the money to want to pull the trigger, and everybody expecting it, and last second bailing out and giving it a good roll to the right-hand side for the most simple put away. Germany 2-love up in this game. All coming from a small turnover from the midfield. Germany quickly pouncing and showing their intent when they did get the ball from them. The Germans is playing the nice expansive. They've got their defenders really wide at the back, keeping the ball moving big distances. That the Argentinian pattern, one high-ranging forward to cut the field in half, with 3 or 4 links behind to just stop the ball moving through the lines. Unfortunately, with this big movement, the high-ranging Argentina forward is covering some big yards. If he's got his Apple foot pod on, he's going to get some serious steps in today at the end of today's game, with the amount of running he has to do between the German back 2 and back 3 players. Turnover happening, Germany winning the ball back, and again getting back into the mix and moving the ball over the distances. Germany trying to find a circle entry there, and a loose ball stepped on by Argentina, but catching the Argentine player on the shin pad in the circle. One of the most tame short corner awards we've seen in a long time, as Germany earn their 3rd penalty corner. And money would be on Muller again to get the drag flick off. The last PC, they went for the slip flick, but the slip flick just wasn't caught properly. Popped into the goal mouth where the defenders were ably equal to palm it away. Having missed the slip flick, I think Muller will be telling them it's his turn to get another flick off. There's a dry patch just in the middle of the D. It might hamper a real quick drag flick from getting off, but the low drag flick still as valuable as the high drag flick. Germany going, push not so straight. Muller going for the flick anyway, gets a foot, goes for the second flick. Did flick with pressure on from the defender. He's caught something. Looks like his head or his neck. The ball did pop loose, and he did end up forcing it. Not good to see somebody going down. The advantage was played, but often when the ball's loose like that and you force it, defenders are coming in hard to try and get to the ball as well. In this case, there was a collision. So medics on the field. Everybody making sure that the captain is secure. Just reminding us that Germany 2-love up at the moment. Drag flick from the first one, and the second one coming from simple slip to the right for an easy put away on the counter attack. Good applause given there for the German captain as they escort him off the field. Not looking good. Looks like he caught his ear. Might also be his neck, but he's definitely got ice pack on the back of his head, just cushioning what happened there as Germany regroup. The ball did take a deflection on the way through, so it's a long corner for Germany. As the game is get started again, everybody's recycled and set up. Umpire blows the whistle and we're off again. We're in the middle of this, the start of this second quarter. A good block happening there from Argentina. Unfortunately, picking the ball up and just losing a bit of control. Diego Roger been very enterprising moving the ball forward. Germany sent up their trough again. It's going to be interesting to see how this game develops in terms of the Argentinian press, because the German back four are very widespread, and if Argentina are going to keep running in front like this, there's a limit to how much they can do in this game as Kozlin gets the ball up front. Just setting up shop, looking for the ball down the line. Very neat ball to Kossel, who's popped in now, trying to pop it in. He's popped it a little bit high, and there's always going to be a case when the ball gets popped high that the umpire's going to think it's dangerous, and so ball popped through. And Argentina gets a reset for a 16. Long over being thrown. That's a long ranging forward. This could be interesting. Got the ball moving across from the left. Trying to find, but just been tapped off. The ball ends up in the circle, but Germany on hand to just neatly palm it away and get the ball down the line. And the ball's gone a long way out from where they were. Sergio Batistella's got to go a long way back to go and find it to restart the match. Argentina working the ball out wide. It's good to see them moving the ball around the back, trying to expose the channels. Ball out the side, but Germany's get to restart again. Again, the German cutting in the 45, looking for the direct entry ball. Finding the Argentine play in front, unfortunately, with a bit of a raised ball, but umpire says not too dangerous. Frank Schaefer looking to see if he can make an entrance. The ball comes all the way back as we hit the reset. Brewster and York doing some work at the back as the ball goes down the sideline. It gets a long way down the field, but when the ball gets to the top corners, often it's isolated. There's a lot of players in front. It's high up in the field for territory, but there we get some skill played through. And the call was that the player didn't move the ball 5 yards before entering the circle, and it is a requirement when the ball is in the 22. De Groen trying his skill and just enter the circle before the ball would be 5 yards and losing that blow. So the game in a bit of a lull at the moment. Germany haven't got their 2 goals. Getting caught up. A couch like happening now, player line on the ground. That's an interesting thing. Normally when a player falls on the ground and blocks, umpires don't take too kindly to that. I think the player given a gentle warning. Germany trying to get the ball in the circle. That is a fantastic receive and shoot. The roll shot as quick as he could. Didn't waste time with the ball there. And Germany happy to play it in and play it out, trying to expose the hole. And sagging right out, taking their time. Argentina happy to stay right back and wait for the Germans to bring the ball to them. I think Frank Schaefer playing the ball on the line there, but not realizing there was anybody there. Looking up, and Jesus, may there be nobody, and the famous tennis smash. He had the periscope up. Jablowski, the goal scorer, had his periscope up. As we get a 3-run here, little dinky pop. Ball in the air, it's got to be dangerous. Michael Kossel running through. Thought he had an easy flip on target then. Keeper raised his stick to pop it up, and he did pop it up into the air. The question being asked about who popped it first. The first one was a flick on goal, so the keeper made a save up in the air, and generally they allow you to lift the ball on the goal shot. Kossel unhappy because it did not go in the back of the net. And Germany with their 4th short corner. Argentina yet to have a PC. Couple of circle entries, and again, Argentina taking a long time to get their protective gear on. I think after the last PC, people threw their kits all over the show, and I think they might be given a small warning here. The ball line miles away, so even the Germans weren't ready for this. The Argentinians line up inside their box with a typical 2-2 pattern. Normally means 2 waves are coming out the way they're standing, and 2 postmen stay back. Ball comes out, not quite to the trapper. And ball getting pushed back to no man's land. Jablowski not really sure where the ball went, but definitely another short corner wasted. They scored off the first one, and there have been 3 since that just haven't looked like they've got anything going forward. As Argentina now play the ball into the midfield, and they have to do some work with their fetcher to make sure that he does not lose the ball. A great ball down the field, and again, like we've said all game, Martinelli has just been hanging up high as much as possible for these long-range balls, pulling out the 3D skills there, getting bumped around. I think he did pull it around and lean back, so Martinelli being told to take the ball back to where it was. In that movement, there was a short corner on the one end of the field, and Martinelli was on the P spot on the other side, waiting for the long ball to be thrown on the line. And now he's waiting for players to arrive. A little bit of turn skill there. Again, the ball in a better position now, coming close to the middle of the field. Diego Roger just camping on the edge of the circle here. Ball getting cracked in. Nice, neat crack. Flat on the deck. Everybody waited, and the stick that got it was a German stick, relieving the pressure. And Argentina yet to have their first PC or clean shot on target. Long ball down the corner. Coming to naught. We look at the scoreboard and we see it's still 5.5 minutes to go in this quarter. Germany won't be relaxing too much on their lead. The famous 2-goal trap is lurking, and also there's a big thing about goals in this section. You have to, in pool games, make sure that you keep your goal difference in a healthy position. You don't want to concede goals, and you want to score as many as you can, because come the end of the pool games, when equal points and a fantastic pickup in the air there, ball popped in the circle. A lot of calls for what happened there. But Carmona just picking up a great backhand above his shoulder to pull it back. And an overhead into the circle. If it hadn't been for the fact that it had been a direct circle entry, the ball can't go direct to the circle, it's got to move 5 yards. But Diego Roger making a great run around the outside there, catching everybody by surprise. Only for the umpire to call them back and to burst the bubble, saying, sorry, the ball hasn't moved the required distance. Carmona just putting a little bit too much pressure on. Germany quite happy to resort to putting their players right back in the field and making the ball travel as long as possible. Small error there from De Groen, but he gets away with it. He gets to play on again. Germany looking for the circle corner. Sorry, the circle entry again. But the out. And again, here we go. Every time the ball goes forward, it looks like Martinelli is going to be threatening. In that one, the ball went forward and the Germans have simply blocked them with his body, saying you won't go any further forward than this. Argentina just getting more and more settled in this game. As the game goes forward, getting the ball a little higher on the field here. Almiron just looking for an option, but nobody leading. Germany just losing too much of the ball at the moment, and great tackle in the midfield there by Jörg. Gets to set off. We've got a circle entry coming here. Kosling set it up. Can he get through? Oh, 2 sticks get put in his path. He didn't die wondering there. He had a go. He did some really good runs going to that area. Alejandro Costa just passing the ball across his defenders, and nobody was there. So unfortunately, ball running away over the sideline. Good turn there on the sideline. Again, the ball on the outside. Germany going to have to find an avenue through here. And they do find a great pass through. Changing of the lines. Open up the channel. Argentina didn't move with that ball. Jan Kruse just not in the right place to deflect it in. Little Hargy-bargy in the middle of the field there. As the crossover happened. Costa again going to fetch. Diego Roger with a great ball going forward. And again, Germany just holding the ball. Just over a minute left in this game, and I'm sure in this half, and I'm sure Germany patiently just seeing the clock down. A couple of times now, the ball on the far side with Marco Bohm rolling out of a tackle, and now he set up a great movement. Ball just thrown behind Groening, and he couldn't pick it up. A little bit scrappy now, as I'm sure both teams trying to see out this half. It's the last throw of the dice of the chucker. Nice ball being thrown wide there for Groening. Groening making a simple 1-2 movement with Kruse, and the ball just popping loose. Great baseline 1-2 passing maneuver. And Jan-Philipp Richter at the end of that, picking up a loose ball and hitting it cleanly just past the left-hand upright. Richter with his first shot of the match, and so long over being thrown, and there it is, half-time whistle. This game poised now with Germany 2-love up as we look forward to the second chucker.
We are fascinated by the mindsets and the habits that make individuals and teams perform at another level. Let us be your thought partners and transformational coaches. Are you part of a team and you are wanting to gain insight into what ingredients need to be in the mix to take your team to a whole new level of performance? Partner with us. We want to be your transformational coaches.
At thehockeysite.com, it's about what happens in the locker room, thinking about the game. It's about planning and preparation, and about training and improving those skills, looking at it from different angles. But of course, it's also about teaching them to score and win. Thehockeysite.com. Share the knowledge.
Welcome back as you join us for the second half of this game between Germany and Argentina. This is the Masters World Cup of Hockey being played in Cape Town. Germany 2 live up in this game. The first break. But Argentina definitely creating some headaches, trying to create some scoring opportunities as the Germans try and stabilize and hold the game. Which is so great overhead. Hit the roof of the stadium. Hooked that properly. Definite crowd pleaser with everybody in the stand loving the fact the ball's coming hurtling at them. Argentina taking it straight away onto the attack and trying to find a circle entry. Just not getting any outcomes for that. As Argentina gets a reset, taking the ball back, moving it 5 yards, and they're going to slap it in. Loose ball in the circle, a lot of people converging. Again, Argentina just trying to force the ball in the circle, and Martinelli, as he has done the whole game, asking all the right questions, trying to flip the ball through, but in the mayhem and no whistle, Germany not get to carry the ball down the field. Kosling setting up a good counter. The switch ball's on now. Boehm on the far side, yeah, if they just call for it. Unfortunately, Groening was just carrying the ball a little too far then, and umpires come out and said that there was a deliberate tackle. Green card being shown, so for the next 2 minutes, Argentina will play with a man short. The card being given to number 17, Nestor Otterer. Germany restarting now. They've got a man up, and they are generally quite good at manipulating the game to create the 2v1 on the free man. If they can just create that 2v1 into the circle as they keep turning. They've got only 2 minutes, and so you can't waste too much time. And Philip Richter turning into his man there. Germans overloading the circle. The ball coming flying across here. Groening looking to see if he can make a play happen. There's an overlap, and the ball gets put into the circle, and Jablowski just deflecting it into the near netting. Germany, as you'd anticipate, are pushing quite high now. They've got the extra player. Ball's gone over their head. Collected by Argentina, but just lost in the pattern. Marco Boehm just taking the ball off as Argentina now get to reset on the far side. They're a man down for another minute, so they're trying to find the run in front, which is a really good turn there. And the flip coming in. Went through the legs of the German defender. But to come from naught. And with the man down, Argentina doing well. Doing well to keep the game going as the Germans have now got a green card for a loose tackle. Ball was popped in the air, so when the ball gets popped up, often you get super keen to go for the ball. Ball getting smashed through. Crowd getting pleased because it had danger written all over it. Michael Kossel getting the card for Germany to spend 2 more minutes on the bench. So the game right now has 10 players versus 10 players. And often when this happens, there's lots of space on the field. It's amazing how by just taking one player off the field on each team, the space is opened up. As Andries de Groen now has the ball, and he's going to take a long throw into the circle. Hoping that he's going to get a blow from there. And I fear Ball popping loose. And Chaparro, I think it was. Yep. Chaparro landing the ball and taking a big swing in it and missing. And umpires, when you miss the ball, calling for the dangerous swing. And then the penalty corner being awarded. Germany's fifth now of the game. Argentina yet to have a short corner. And Argentina short of one player in the short corner defense. Everybody looking the other way, not wanting to get involved. As we look up and Jablowski's on top for the drag flick. Groening says he might be interested. And on the slip flick, Jan-Philipp Richter looking super keen as well. Injection, a little bit of keen off pace. I like that. Rolf Jörg, the trapper, just catching it upright and having a go at himself and saying, well, if you guys can't do this properly, I'll have a go. Ball catching a deflection and going over the crossbar, so it's a long corner that ensues. Germany just keeping the ball on the outside, and Argentina did a very good job of just blocking that entry, putting bodies in the way. Very simple defensive tactics. Martinelli, the captain, just spinning around there, getting out of trouble. Poor delivery, and again, we've seen this before. When the poor delivery comes, Germany been ready for this. The call through the middle, trying to catch an edge on it. Michael Kossel just getting, oh sorry, not Kossel, that actually was Kosling. Kosling just getting an edge on it. The ball lifted, but not dangerous. Try to give it some edge into the circle, just couldn't get it. Keeper makes a great save. And the ball comes away for Argentina. Alejandro Costa just getting the ball away. But unfortunately tracking towards the sideline where it is fairly easy to defend. Costa being blown for running with the ball and using his body to hinder the tackler. That's actually quite a good skill, to be with the ball and also to hinder. He looks bemused that the umpire caught him. As both teams are now back to their full complement after the green cards have been served. And normal procedures happen. Again, Germany 2 goals the better at the moment. Had chances for their third, and Argentina using the long-ranging snipe method to see if they can get something for this, but haven't had a clear opportunity for a while now. Jörg with the ball forward. Six colliding, and the umpire saying that the Germans' fault. And Argentina are going to have this. Argentina have struggled with this ball going through the middle. They find a good one now to Costa. But Costa gets dispossessed from behind. Looked like they had a chance to go there. As Richter just simply stables the whole game down. Moving the ball forward. The ball, Lucia is going to try and have a go. It would have been interesting if he got the backhand off there, because Kosling again was waiting on the P spot for anything. Call coming that the ball was out. Kotz Miller hasn't come back on the field yet after his collision. Must be more serious than we thought, or might just be saying, I'll take the rest of the day off to recover and present again tomorrow. Very influential player for Germany, the centre-back position. Since then, they've rotated a couple of players through that position to take turns doing the job. But never good to lose your captain and your major playmaker. Argentina with a chance here. If they can just get the ball in the circle. Costa deciding where to go, making the ball live, drawing out the German player. Martinelli making the first run, and then Costa making the second run. He did leave his feet, but it'll be interesting on the replay to see whether it was actually affected by it. A stick contact, or if he just collided, unfortunately, with the opposition player. Germany now stretching the field by playing 2 forwards high, making some space for them to play into. Happy to keep the ball on the deck. Bit of pressure shown there to Richter, who tries to throw the overhead and doesn't get it right. And Lutz Hansen trying to be part of the play there. They let the ball go to him and he passed it back and unfortunately missed his man. Umpire asking the ball be taken on the line. That actually is unfortunate because the quick free hit often gives you an advantage to try and catch the players within the 5 yards who can't tackle you, but you have to take it from the spot and the ball's got to be stationary. Those that follow hockey would have seen in the Commonwealth Games recently, there was an incident where Australia took a ball where the ball wasn't quite stationary and a lot of discussion ensued about the rule and what interpretation should be. How stationary. That's a different discussion for a different time. Oh, not a good error there. A ball given straight to Costa. Ralph Yuk just passing the ball straight in. Think he was going to go for disguise. And like I said before, that's where they're missing their captain, Muller. His job is to not give the ball away and to make decisions where it goes. In the last 5 minutes of this quarter, again, only 2 love and a goal from Argentina. We'll just add to it. I'm joined now on top here by Brian Scott, one of the South African players. He's keenly watching this game, taking notes because he's up against them. I think, are they in your pool, Brian Scott?
No, this is actually not even in our age group.
That's what I thought.
But appreciate it, Pierre Leroux.
That grey hair seems to be growing more and more by the day. You had a good tournament so far?
Yeah, it hasn't been bad. 2 games done and a win and a draw.
Fantastic. Have you watched this game so far? Or have you just arrived?
I've just arrived, so it's very interesting to see what's actually happening. But sounds like it's quite a nice, fast, action-packed game.
You can see Argentina getting their first short corner there. They've had a couple of inroads into the circle and got nothing forward, but Carmona's been a really industrious run forward. If you do play against him at any stage in your life, you might be taking notes about how to tackle him.
I've actually had to go from the link line back to the defensive line, so I kind of rate myself as a bit of a defender nowadays, Pierre Leroux.
There's always the playbook to read. Your thoughts on the short corner? Can you look and see what they're going to do? It's always good to look forward and predict.
Looks like they've got a bit of a flicking option, which is always good at this age group.
Unfortunately, the Western Province Cricket Club curse has got them, and the ball wasn't injected fast enough. It has been re-awarded for a foot, and everybody seems bemused. Lots of hands in the air, but umpire being sympathetic and saying that maybe Argentina should have another go at this. Diego Rogers been flicking in the warm-up, so he's normally the one that gets it away. If you're watching carefully on the left-hand castle. Gets the power flick in, well run down. It is interesting to me, watching the different leagues, that for a Masters hockey tournament, how many of the pieces get run down by fast first waves?
Yeah, it is amazing that these old guys are actually getting out to the top of the D and actually putting their bodies on the line in terms of getting getting in the way.
I think there'd be more time on top of the castle with first over running out. I see a yellow card being handed out there. I'm not sure who for. One of the Argentinian players. Oh, it's Costa, the captain. Playmaker, sorry. He's had a couple of run-ins in the midfield, and I think finally it's boiled over. Argentina just struggling to find a way to score a goal here. And the Germans playing their typical game of holding the ball. So your team all strong, healthy?
Yeah, I think they're okay. No injuries as of yet. Had some interesting cards on our side of the field. So nothing on the red colour yet, but that's the only one that we don't have.
I'm sure they're all well deserved. The player concerned probably says it shouldn't be, but I'm sure they were well deserved. Umpire's never wrong, as we know.
Umpire, exactly. Yeah.
See the Germans pushing through now. Kosling, their playmaker up front, scored a phenomenal goal in the first chucker. Might want to take the video of that and replay it for your forwards.
Yeah, we actually need some good forwards in our team because we don't have the firepower of either one of these teams, it seems like.
Yeah, no, Germany holding on to the ball quite calmly now. There's only 1 minute and 12 left, and the pros are running down the clock if they have to. Small error there, but he gets away with it. Michael Kostel in the midfield is going to be upset with that. There seems to be a slight dry patch in the middle of this field where you don't want to play it on. The ball getting stuck quite often.
We should get this Province Cricket Club ground staff on the task a bit better, I think.
I believe they've been said they're going to award the two for half time. Depends where the wind's blowing, where the water lands.
40 seconds to go. Let's see how that kind of pans out. Germany 2-0 up. Nice.
Yeah, they got on the scoreboard earlier. They've controlled this game nicely. But as you know, Argentina always game for a counter-attack hockey move. If you watch the game going on, you can always cast your eye to the top of the field like now, and there's always a runner somewhere looking for some work to do. The captain Martinelli has been so industrious in this game.
Oh, unlucky.
The ball just going away. I think it's 15 seconds to go. Everybody's taking a breather now. As the age groups get a little bit higher, the more aware players are of the clock and how much time they have before the next break. As we have the hooter, and there it is, the third quarter complete. Germany still 2-0 up. We'll see you in a bit. Welcome back. We're in the fourth quarter of this game between Germany and Argentina. Germany still holding the 2-0 goal lead here. It's the over 45 division. Ball moving around the park quite neatly here for the Germans. They're going to want to consolidate the 2-level lead. I'm joined by one of the South African players, Brian Scott. Brian, you got a game tomorrow?
Yeah, so we're playing Malaysia tomorrow. Seems like quite a defensive team. Got a couple of really skillful players, and it should be interesting. Hopefully we can get through that stoic defense that they put up against the English that we kind of were witness to. And who knows? It's one of those scenarios where, anything can happen on the day, kind of like this game, I suppose.
Yeah, I think if Argentina can get on the scoreboard here and just make it 2-1, could just throw the cats amongst the pigeons. I watched that Malaysian team play, and a lot of overheads coming your way, I must.
Yes, although it sounds like, unfortunately, the guy throwing the overheads has done his shoulder in, and he's not going to be doing that anymore. So they're going to have to obviously change their game plan a little bit in terms of how they actually get the ball out the back.
I'm pretty sure that shoulder injury is from overuse, because I saw a ton of overheads being thrown. Good to see a tactic. We have been remarking, a couple of commentators and a couple of ex-players, how few of the players slap the ball, preferring to stay upright and keep the hamstrings
Absolutely.
in the vertical position and going for the hit rather.
I'm assuming you don't also see any tomahawks as well. It's like a bit of an anomaly in this particular league.
I can't lie, there have been a couple of attempts at the tomahawk. Very few people are pulling it off. I think common sense prevails.
I must say that I'm still very much old school when it comes to all these things as well. So you keep to what you do, and you keep to know what you know. So let's not try and reinvent or do anything like that.
What you're saying is you're a bunter.
Yeah, funny enough, I actually got most of that from you, I think, if I remember correctly.
Sure, a long time ago, those days. Germany just slowing the game down completely now. Playing to their fetcher, who's now going to turn and see if he can find a run up front. Choosing not to. Nice ball going through. And now we have an attempt, but again, Argentina got numbers behind the ball. If you look up high, you'll see Martinelli just hanging in case they win the ball for the counter-attack. A big circle injury coming there. Eventually the patients were in thin, and Muller popping in. Muller went off the field actually in the first chuck. He had a head collision. Tried to flick off a short corner and caught the first wave at the same time. He's come back on the field. Generally the general in the field making all the play happen. Kind of like your position, your team, Brian. We have a good break here from Germany. Again, just not able, like a bomb, to get the ball through there. Every time it does go forward.
There's some particularly
So
large
teams in your pool, sorry, Brian?
so we've got 6 in the pool, so 5 pool games. And then obviously the 2 cross-pool playoffs.
Is there a semi-final playoff there?
Yes, in one of those. I'm assuming probably one of these teams will probably be in that mix. Well, hopefully both of them.
Yeah, there are some sections that don't have, bigger sections that don't have semi-finals. They go straight to playoffs, and so goal difference makes a big difference in those sections. And there have been some big scores as well, and there we go.
There goes a card.
Not retreating. The lazy stick hangout before he goes 5 yards. Just too much of a attempt there. Jan-Philipp Richter just taking the brunt of that.
Oh, Germany away.
And Germany now have a Kosling on the break. Exciting player, this. I think one of the Argentinian players might have paid the price now for trying to stay with him. Christian Kosling on the run, and I think we might have a slightly twinged hamstring there. I've seen these signs before, Brian.
It's a very common occurrence at Masters games. Obviously the hamstring's the first thing to go, then the calves, and then possibly even an Achilles. Hopefully it's not too serious, though.
That hamstring is a little tight. He's trying to get off the field, and to add injury to insult, he's got to. Good cross ball coming in. A fantastic save there by Alejandro Mata. Players trying to get off the field. They can't substitute him on until he gets here. Looks like he's carrying the heavy leg there. Argentina might be doing a good job here to substitute somebody high in the field and try and sneak them behind Germany, but Germany now get a ball in a good position. Trying to find the forehand flick. Going to slip it back for the indoor style slap and push it onto the foot. And Germany earn themselves a short corner of this place. As Germany earn their, it's a 6-row corner. See Captain Muller's back on the field, the drag flick, and he'll definitely be calling for this to come his way. Jablowski on the left had a slip flick so far, but he flopped it, and I think Muller, after the last time he flicked and the first to have caught him, he might just want to put things right by getting this goal bound. Nice injection, nice trap, and it off it goes. Goes for the dummy. Does go to Jablowski. Like I said before, Jablowski not getting the most power on it. And the reward happening after a big hit. And it's typical in all of these games. Brian, you see hard hockey, but if there's something going wrong, guys high-five each other afterwards, and there's a bit of an apology. Does it happen in your games?
It didn't really happen in our game against England this morning. It was a little bit more.
I heard there was hargy-bargy.
Hey, can we keep on the RG side of things? But yeah, it was.
Again, ball on straight. We've seen this twice now, where Ralph Yerk, the trapper, ball coming on the side of him, decides to then have a go himself. Trappers love it when the ball goes skew, and they can claim that it's their turn to do something with the ball.
Oh.
Martinelli with the air skill is going to be fantastic. Such a live wire, pulling 5 German players to come and tackle him. Getting the overhead away, but not to any of his own teammates. I've had money on Martinelli trying to get us a short corner at some stage, a really industrious player. And Argentina just turned over the ball a little bit weakly in the middle of the field, and they're going to pay for this, having to chase down the field. Signature play of Germany is they always come back to the middle of the field with their playmakers. The ball might go wide, but they do bring it back, and now we've got a charge going. Kostel going to try and get in to Kosling. But Kosling, unfortunately, unable to trap the ball on the baseline. 9.5 minutes in this game, and a terrible error there. This could be dangerous. Jablowski running in and swatting flies above the ball, unfortunately, just not making any contact. A gift being given to them. Ironically, in the second goal of the match, Kosling won a ball like that and ran, and instead of shooting, actually far posted it to Kostler. We didn't return the favour there, it looked like it.
Strikers, huh?
Jablowski now coming off. I think the coaches want to give him some advice for the next shot. So did you attend the opening function?
Yeah, how nice was that? Well, a wonderful opening function. I think enjoyed by everyone, and the good old Cape weather came out as well, which was nice. Yeah, I think all nations had a great entrance and something that is pretty unforgettable.
I was seeing some social media posts of you and your team doing some runs in your Speedos. Could you give us some background to that?
So, obviously, prostate and testicular cancer is something that you start have to looking after in your late 40s, early 50s. We thought we'd actually partake.
Ball open on the side here in Germany, just trying to smash in the circle. So was this for a cause?
We thought we'd actually just take a little run down the beachfront in these purple Speedos for the cause, 5 kilometers.
Did you get in the water?
No. I think it was probably a good thing we didn't get in the water. Cape water's not particularly warm.
Circle again, and the German foot just good trap on his foot there. Ice hockey style. Bit disappointed that you didn't get in the water.
I'm not.
Is this a regular morning occurrence, the Speedo run, or is it just a once-off?
It's a yearly thing, but
Yearly?
yeah, hopefully it's not something that actually happens all the time, because it took I think a lot of gumption getting those guys into those Speedos.
Germany pressing really high now, trying to force the turnover, and they do get it. Not as high as they would have. This is the kind of area of the field is Captain Muller looking for the options. He's going to roll his man. Very clever running the Carmona, just running the blocker, making sure that when he got rolled, he accidentally bumped into Muller. Muller just directing traffic at the back, waiting for the big entrance. Here it comes. Trying to go for the open face pull, but not pulling it off at all. Making a hash of that. I don't think Schaefer's going to be too happy with his performance in that one.
It's not often you see the old on the knees tackle. You used to actually be very good at that type of style there, Pilaru.
I watched a commentator one of the craziest games yesterday where the Namibian team, first wave, when he got to the castle, dived and ended up on the ground 3 or 4 times. And the umpires let it go, and we were actually seriously worried. And a great ball in the circle. Christian Kosling on the dive, trying to get the angle deflection on, and he's actually high-fiving the keeper because the keeper denied him properly there. He had his moment in the sun and just couldn't. And again, Muller just directing traffic. This is again an indoor-style pullback. Another tackle on the ground. Argentina putting their bodies on the line. That's Alejandro Costa, the big guy in the midfield that's been dominant in their distribution. And almost a great step through. Ball on the side, trying to find it across. Costa again, just placing himself in the way. And Argentina win themselves a 16. So talking about Masters World Cup, did you guys come prepared with a physio in your team?
No, we don't actually have a specific physio on our team. There are a lot of physios that are helping out.
So we got Germany pressing forward again, just trying to find the gap as they go in the... And not finding any penetration there. Still 5 minutes to go, and again, another long ball forward. Sergio Bulles on the front there, just not getting to it.
I suppose this late in the game, those basic skills are slowly starting to kind of not work.
Then we get a keeper substitute.
I don't know about you, Pierre, but I've never really seen a guy's keeper kit in complete pink. It's quite a sight, isn't it?
It is unique. Zindler being called off and Hansen being pulled back on again, the number 1 keeper. Again, coming to the end, they might be thinking they're just going to back themselves to make sure they don't give anything away, put the number 1 keeper back on again. I see you guys have come with 2 goalkeepers.
We do.
Are your goalkeepers prone to injury?
Not prone to injury. One is a whole lot better than the other one, funny enough. So we try and limit his game time. But yeah, hopefully we'll get the best out of him before the end of the tournament.
Yeah, as with any tournament, I'm sure there's some difficult and easy games, and you get the keeper on that's a bit weaker on the easy games. Just kind of get him in the game, and the collision in the midfield, that was accidental and had everything wrong written over it. A backhand tackle while somebody's swinging at the ball. Quinton Dines just thinking, what the heck is going on here? I was making a tackle and he was swinging. There's appreciative size difference between the two, and Thiago Roger, all the work he's done today on the field, taking the blows as well, and Germany immediately behind the pressure. Some space up front here if they can just get a circle entry. I'm sure the third goal would be much appreciated, as the 2 umpires are disagreeing on the blow, and finally one of them overrides the other. How's the umpiring been in your games, Brian?
It's been a bit interesting. I mean, obviously there's different interpretations of certain rules. We had a lot of cards in our game this morning for things that we thought were minor infringements, but clearly the umpire didn't. So it's interesting, I suppose.
Were they technical cards or behavioural cards?
More
behavioural cards.
Behavioural, yeah. And in our team we have a lot of behaviourists, if I can use that term.
We've seen that overflow a couple of times. Argentina looking for something, and unfortunately...
Lots of barging going on in the circle. Actually quite comical in many ways.
Yeah, no, there was a clean ball Martinelli line it up, but he probably should have been at the end of the ball rather than the one delivering it. Costa way back in the field, and he's normally the one that delivers it to Martinelli. But like you said, I think, and like you've experienced, I think you see that at the end of the game, the legs do feel a little bit heavier than when they do at the start. Just over 2 minutes to go, and Germany just trying to get one more goal, as you said before, and they do get a penalty corner. Very simple flip and pull back on the stick. No argument there from the Argentinians, as I'm sure both teams are going to drag the short corner as long as possible. So your next game, you say, is against?
We're playing Malaysia tomorrow at 10 o'clock, South African time.
Which field is that on?
I think on the B field here.
The B field. I look forward to commentating those games.
I'm sure you do.
I had the S over50s this morning. Very interesting with especially Nick Wides and Greg Knott. As the push comes out again, nowhere on target. The slip, the slap, way off target. If he kept that near post, the keeper really was overcorrected on the far side. But again, when the slip comes in, I don't think Jan-Philipp Richter was thinking about where he's going to go. He was just trying to get some bat on ball. 1 minute to go. Long ball going forward. Just needs a touch on it. The crowd's going to go excited if we can get something from this. I think that was a very good stick block that caught the attention of the referee.
Yeah, behavioural card as well.
The ref's guilty often of hearing noise and just blowing for that, and give Argentina a short corner. And can you believe it? Only their second short corner of the game, so we don't really know what they do. Diego Roger line up on top. He looks the candidate to try and get something going goal bound. A lot of deflection runners coming from left and right. And Germany taking their time, finding their protective gear. Good injection. This could be worth it. A great flick along the deck, and I think Garcia's job was to get in there and deflect it, and he just couldn't get there. Whether the drag flick was going for goal, and I'm not sure. Your opinion?
Oh.
Another hargy-bargy and a yellow card given on the hooter, but it doesn't matter. This game ends Germany 2, Argentina 0. We'll see you soon for the next game.
That waiting for the gun, the nerves are just too much, thinking about what is about to go down.
And there goes the horn to start the race.
No, I think it's really amazing. And now the whole setup and people are dressed up.
We're giving something, I think, to the people. It's just fantastic.
The support on the side of the road is second to none, and that gives you the extra oomph.
Thoroughly enjoyed it. The scenery is beyond what I could imagine. I seriously enjoyed it. I met so many wonderful people on the way.
Really enjoying Cape Town. People seem to really appreciate artwork here, which is really nice.
Come and visit Cape Town. We are waiting for you with open arms. We welcome you here. This will remain a city of hope and opportunity for everyone, not just in Cape Town, but around the country and the world.
And he takes the tape.
Cape Town is open, safe, and ready to host you.